And that's a new thing. They now tell everyone that it's being recorded, so I can't secretly record you. All right, so welcome everyone to the June IPMS London meeting. And as I was saying, my apologies for the late notification on this, but we did get some emails in and a few other things. So we'll just kind of go ahead and go through it. And then if anyone has some additional stuff they want to show or you want to generally yap about, we'll just do that. And it'll be generally a good time. So let me just get this slideshow hooked up here. All right, so share screen, my slideshow. All right, you all should be seeing the slide now.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Okay, I didn't know, I actually forgot to take out the IPMS Canada news. I don't know if Carrie's got anything, but all the normal stuff. Okay, so we're going to start with on the tables. Let me just get that moved over, that moved over. So as I said, thanks to my own silliness, we didn't get a lot of submissions, but we got a few, which is always good. And again, if anyone else has any more, feel free. Okay, so first victim is Mr. Hill.
Oh, sorry.
You've got your two. I kind of put them in a rough order for you, Mike.
The large wings, or the wide wingspan one on the bottom of the picture is my most recent build of the Armstrong Whitworth 52. That's a half scale of the airliner that they proposed for flying wing. And it is still 100 and some odd feet of a wingspan. So you can just imagine how big the project they were looking at doing. It's an AV resin kit, very, very basic, very bland paint scheme, laminar flow wing at that time. They didn't want to disturb it with any fancy paint. And as you notice, there's no markings on the upper or lower surfaces because they're worried about the thickness of the paint upsetting the airflow.
I'll go to the next one here.
And above that, and there she is there. This is just one of my quick builds, so you can see how thick the landing gear doors are. I wasn't going to bother thinning them down and just slap them on and have some fun.
Very nice.
Can't call it a tail sitter, but she would sit on her bum. So that's where the wheel chocks came into my work around that problem to keep the nose down.
You should tell the story you posted about the one flight that kind of went awry, where landings and takeoffs didn't equal one.
Oh, its claim to fame is it was the first aircraft to be the ejection seat to be actually used in an emergency. This aircraft suffered some wing flutter, which at these weights, that time, and those speeds was something obviously new for their construction methods. And the pilot couldn't get it back under control, so he ejected out and survived. So the first one to do so. And this is the lovely thing about the internet. If you read one account, it says something to the effect of, amazingly, the aircraft regained control and guided to the landing. And then another account says it crashed. I kind of believe it crashed.
I believe it crashed. So he became the first member of the Martin Baker Survivors Club.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, there's actually, I don't know if that's the name, but there's actually a group that you get when you eject, you actually get an award or something to put up on your wall.
It's a caterpillar to put on your tie clip or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. What did you make the little let me go back a bit. The metal things. The little
pins.
Yep, very cool. All right, and then next up you have from Ireland.
That's an old frog kit packaged under some name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. Eastern European. It's the Miles Magister trainer.
Right.
Several months ago, one of the guys that follows me pushed me in the direction of building something with Irish markings. And one afternoon I was in Brochdales and saw that little thing and said, hey, they're flown by the Irish Air Corps. And came across this very basic but quite striking marking of black and silver.
Yeah.
J-Bot did up some nice decals with a nice thick white base coat, so the colors would not bleed through, especially on the black. I think he did a relatively good job. Again, just an out of the box build, quickie little build.
Well, I know the guys in IPMS Ireland certainly liked it.
Yes, they helped me with a couple of questions.
Yep.
And I got a good response from them, and also from the frog page. I guess it's the striking colors that garnered the interest in it.
Yes. No, nice little build.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have your dad's, which I just think is fascinating. I just love this.
Yeah, I'll make a shout out. Is his dad joined us?
No, he's not there.
Oh, all right.
He's probably busy. You know these retired folks.
Yes.
Busier than anything.
Busier than anything. I chuckle at this little story. This is a gift from my sister to my father for his Father's Day present. When's Father's Day?
Yeah.
Well, he was so excited. He obviously
Built
took
the damn thing.
and built the damn thing.
Good for him.
He's just like a big kid sometimes.
Yep.
It's some sort of music box that actually does play music.
Very cool.
He doesn't have the talents to video it and record the music, so I'll have to take his word for it.
But very nice. Yeah, I like these kind of things. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, David.
This is made by Trumpeter, or put out by Trumpeter. It has all the brass, whatever you want to call it, for the harnesses on the back and in the pilot seats. The stairs was harnessed or whatever you want to call it. And in the engines, I didn't take pictures of the screening of the bottom of the engines. Have got it all. And the main landing struts are made out of metal.
Mm.
It was fun putting together.
What scale is it, Dave?
148.
Very nice.
Well, you're going small, Dave.
I finally finished it.
Yeah.
Five coats of wax on it.
Looks good. Did you hear the comment about 148? You're going small?
No.
It's true, though. You tend to be the bigger scale guy, but that's great. Very nice.
This is a plane, though.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, Johnny.
Yes.
So we got 3 of your Panzer and then 1 of the new build you're working on.
Yeah. So if you saw my photos last month for this, I think it's not so much of a difference, except for the armor around the turret.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, PE parts really take some time, and I lost 2 small pieces, which is crucial for finish assembly this tank and ready for painting. Like you can see here, I opened both sides of the armor around the turret, but on the right side there's actually 1 piece missing. If you click to the next page, this one I'm holding right here, the two small pieces which I used to connect with the
the hinge.
Yes. Like I soldered them on first, then I was soldering the back, like some parts at the back. You see the little lever at the back. It's too hot that the two hinge, the solder between the 2 hinge and the part melted, and those 2 fall on the carpet. I spent more than an hour looking for them.
Oh,
no result. So I have to order a whole new set of PE parts just to finish this thing, and I'm still waiting for them to arrive.
And you mean as soon as you ordered it, you didn't find the old one in the carpet? That's
No.
normally what happens.
No.
Well, I was going to say, Johnny, I lost this little piece for the F-18 2 months ago, maybe 3. I found it yesterday. Just, I've been
But
looking at it for 3 months.
But
Maddening.
these 2 inch are just too small. I don't think I can find them anymore. Anyway,
Absolutely maddening. And then you got something new you started.
yes, the meme tank KV222. So KV2 should only have 1 turret, but this one is. I think the original idea is from the game World of Tank. I think they put this tank on April Fool's Day 1 year. But yeah, so it stacks 3 turret together.
Very cool.
And this kit is a trumpeter kit, a very, very old kit. I never worked on any trumpeter kit before, and I know exactly why when I'm working on it, because all the problem you can imagine, you can find it on it, like huge flashes, like weird injection marks on weird places, huge difference of thickness on the different size of the seam line, etc. Still, I've achieved this much of progress on this morning. The photo is taken this morning. I started on Monday, so
Looks
I
good.
spent just 2 days. And on the other hand, the Panzer IV, I started 2 months ago, and I still haven't finished it.
Usually the way it goes.
So think twice before you work on a right field model kit, and think 3 times before you work on PE parts.
Crazy. All right. So that's all the stuff I had on people emailed to me.
Hey, go back to Johnny for a moment, please.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. Hang on. I got to reshare it. My apologies.
I was just going to ask Johnny a question. Have you ever heard of a resistance soldering?
No, can you tell me more about it?
It's very similar to spot welding in terminology, that they actually run electrical current through the parts that heat it up so you can apply the solder.
Ooh.
The great benefit is it stops that from happening. You have much better control of obviously where the direction of current's going. And so when you solder the hinges on, the top one or the bottom one won't fall off or anything like that.
So what device did it use?
I no longer have a set. Again, back in my working days, I had one. It's really just a transformer with a lead that you would clamp to one part of the photo etch, and then with the solder, just dab it, and electricity will flow through another iron through the solder and melt it.
Johnny, I have
yeah.
a PDF on resistance soldering someone sent me a couple days ago. I'll ship it over to you in PM right now.
Please, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Francis. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing. Does anyone else have anything they want to show? I can spotlight your screen. And anyone else?
Picked up a bunch of stuff in the past couple of weeks. I don't know if anybody's interested in it, but I could give you a really good deal on that.
Type 10 tank, 148th.
I'd be interested.
Let me know.
Frank.
Hey, Frank. I got it listed for 25, but I got a special tonight, one night only, $20 if you want it.
All right.
Although I'm in St. Thomas.
I think you
I
just
can,
got sold.
I can deliver it to London on my way to work through the week. So
Yeah, sure. That'd be fine. That'd work for me.
yeah, give me your address and I can swing by tonight.
And Billy, you did say $200, didn't you?
Did I say two? Oh.
But we'll talk. We won't bother tonight, William, just because I got to head out in about an hour.
Yeah.
So I won't be home
No
for
worries.
a bit. So I'll reach out to you.
Cool.
No problem,
All right.
Frank.
Anyone else have things they've purchased?
Oh,
or what else? You got some more?
A few things.
What else?
Well,
You've been bad, I see. You must have been bad.
This
Just move
kit
it up
was
a bit
on
higher. Here you go. the
I got this
MPM.
for $10
Wow.
from direct from Special Hobby.
Nice.
They had it on for less than half price.
Yep.
And a bunch of other things. That.
What is that?
It's IAR 80A.
Oh,
They weren't that great of plane, but they're really sexy looking. And
yeah.
so actually, I got this at Roughdale's along with this. Don't ask me why this interests me, but I love the plane.
Very cool.
And these have been going for like a gazillion dollars on the internet. I got mine for less than $10.
Nice.
So, as well as an otter. So I had to travel an hour to go get it, but
Still a good deal.
and yeah, that's about it. I picked up a shark back form last week.
Cool.
That was pretty interesting. So I probably go on the list of things to do shortly.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to show off or talk about? Tom, why don't you unmute yourself? There you go.
Yeah, just for fun. My kid does miniatures, gaming miniatures, but he does like the various more common ones. But there is one in Australia that he showed me one time that I thought was really neat. And if anyone remembers, a while ago, I did a steampunk Laura Croft. And anyway, it was the same sculptor did this games, and this is kind of like a steampunk Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. But the reason I'm showing it is I'm actually trying to learn how to paint figures, and I don't know how big I can make
There you
that.
go. Yeah. Just put your hand behind it. It should put it into focus.
Yeah, here let's see if I can get size.
Well, at least he's wearing pants, folks.
Does that do it?
Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah. That
But
works.
as you can see, it's very tiny.
Yeah.
But if I had better light at the moment, actually, maybe I'll.
There you go.
I'm learning how to blend acrylics, which is trying to make it go from color to color smoothly. And
Mhm.
boy, I'm gaining great respect for figure painters because it's tough.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's a totally different way of modeling, but if anyone wants to try to stretch their limits, it's a really good way of doing that. It's a lot of very tiny work.
What are you using? Are you using like paint retarder?
I've tried to avoid that. What I've just done is make sure that I use a really wet brush
Mm,
and don't ever let it dry out, and use a bigger brush than you think so that it doesn't dry out.
mhm.
And then it's just very, very, very diluted acrylics. So
Yeah.
it's just like putting on glaze of
Ah.
color, more and more and more of it. So I mean, essentially, one sort of that dress, which was really small, took me about 3 nights to play around with. But in some ways, it's kind of relaxing. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot more relaxing than photo etch.
Have you tried using a wet palette for your paints?
Yeah, I've got one of those to hold it. And then, but even then, I have to have like a thing of water near it and on the wet palette to really dilute the paint down.
Do you know there's a thing called glaze medium?
Yeah, but I haven't tried it yet. I'm finding the water works pretty well. I did try the retarder once, but it was almost harder to deal with. If I just do more and more and just, I'm finding it's not so much the paint drying on the model, it's the paint drying on your paintbrush. That's the problem, because once it starts to dry, it's really hard to do anything on the model.
Makes sense.
But it's a real learning curve compared to the modeling I'm used to doing.
Very cool. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Oh,
Hey, Mike,
yes. Yes.
was that what you were talking about for the resistance soldering?
No. I
Okay.
was
I
actually
did
pull
for-
up a picture of one to show
Okay,
you guys.
Hang on, I'll let you share the screen if you want.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see you. You should be able to share your screen now, though.
Oh, so I got to share the screen first. I
yeah,
thought
you
you
got to
said.
share it. Yep.
How's that?
Not yet.
Really?
Hang on to make sure I'm. Let me just
Oh,
make
now I
sure.
got it. Okay, share.
You got it?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yep. Now we see it.
Stop moving around. So that's the fancy one. You can see the top left is the
Right here.
Very cool.
You've got the soldering iron to conduct down the bottom left of the base is the electrical connection there. And there's a cable going up to the soldering iron. And as you touch the soldering iron, electricity obviously flows through. And in his left hand, I think it's a he, has a very thin piece of solder. And that transformer doesn't have a variable control. I think it just has a high and low, but there's various different types you can get out there. And when I was using it for removing chips, we could get it incredibly low, which was nice. So you don't burn the chip out, right?
Yeah.
So there you go, Johnny.
Cool. Thank you.
Spend more of your money.
He's probably already ordered it. It's on its way already.
It's on its way. Yeah.
Probably.
And I received a nice phone call the other day from the church. We once again have access to the basement for the Grey Butt build sessions. So that's where I will be next Wednesday night.
Okay.
You guys are more than welcome to join. The only limit we have is 10 people. I'm not expecting 10 guys to show up.
If I can, I'll try and make it out there with a laptop or something.
Love to see you.
All right. So don't forget to mention that on the Facebook page.
Yes, I will be posting this.
Awesome. Okay. Does anyone else have anything to talk about or show off? Does anyone, I know most of you guys are in on the Wednesday night bill, but is everyone aware that Panda and Kitty Hawk have decided to close?
Yeah, we
Out of the
heard
blue?
that.
Out of the blue, they just decided to. We've really heard no more. I've reached out a couple of times and there's been no other announcements. So, and from what I gather, the eBay prices are starting to get stupid. So there you go.
Typical.
Typical. Yep, some of the shows in the States are starting to open up again. Nationals is like 60 something days away. Yep, so far I've only heard of Out West and the show in Guelph in November. Alan Muro mentioned Heritage Con's definitely, they're going to try and get it on in the spring, so it won't be in the fall. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else here I missed news-wise.
Wonderfest was a week and a half ago.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, it was a good time for the U.S. contingent. The Canadian contingent were very sad.
Yeah, well, a bunch of guys had Zoom meetings going, so I got to hang out for a while on Friday night in the suite on an iPad, me and 2 or 3 other guys. And then on Sunday, my buddy George Waldron took his phone and walked around the vendor's room for me so I could shop. So I bought a resin kit. He now has it in Michigan. He's got to ship it over to me. So, so I was able to shop and not even be there.
Typical.
That's
typical.
Yeah.
Yep, a few announcements there. For those of you that like sci-fi stuff, there's AMT's doing a 1/72nd scale Razor Quest from The Mandalorian. There's a 1/48th Space 1999 Hawk Mark 9 from the old series. Lots of sci-fi goodies for those into that thing. So other than that, the stores here in London are now open again with limited people in the store. I've been to a couple of them. If anyone's looking for Mr. Color leveling thinner, Richard at Brofdale's got a big supply in. So he still had some as of last week when I was there.
Used it today for the first time, Stuart. It's
Mhm.
great stuff.
Yeah.
I bought some on Monday and I used it for the first time this
Good.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful stuff. Absolutely. That's why some people call it unicorn tears. Yep, there you go. Good. I'm glad you like it. So as I said, he's open, AVF's open, obviously, all the other stores. So support your local hobby shop when we can. What else? I think that's about it. I know the Tamiya F4 Phantom and the Tamiya Panzer 4. I see Wheels and Wings are getting ready for their release. I think it's later this week or early next week. It's not long until you can get it. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, unless anyone else has anything else, I think that's the formal part. Anyone else?
I was just wondering, Dave, so Wonderfest they had an in-person component?
Oh yeah, Wonderfest. There was a lot of Americans came out. A lot of my friends were fully vaccinated, so they were there. Now the dealer's room was everybody wore masks in there, but there were some after-hours parties and people weren't wearing masks. But the after-hours parties, they're like family reunions, so you know everybody and you can sort of trust them. So everybody that was at those things was fully vaccinated. So I think
Cool.
they felt relatively safe doing that. And they had 790 entries in the contest. So that's the second highest number ever in the contest. Last year they had like 824 or something like that. So they came just shy of their record.
Wow, so they're way ahead of us.
Yeah, they are.
One of the things the hotel said people didn't have to wear masks, but the committee decided, and people were very good about it. One of my one of my podcast co-hosts was there, and a couple of other people, and yeah, it was a very, very good time. It's one of those things. If you even got a slight interest in horror or sci-fi, you should put it on your bucket list to go down. Very cool. So lots of pictures out there, obviously. And as I said, some of the sci-fi model companies do use it for new announcements. So it's an important date on the calendar now. So very cool indeed. So So anyone else have any questions?
Got one from Mike. Maybe the rest of you can help me. I got a vac form kit last Friday. The canopies are somewhat less than pristine. Is there a way that I can get them back into shape, but I got to keep them there? Is there like heat, time? Does anybody have a? Input on?
Not too sure how that funky plastic will react to heat. Do you have a scrap piece you can cut off and try?
I think, yeah, there is some the surrounding material. I was just going to use a hair dryer on it and just lightly, and see what that does.
And
if not, I'll find. Sorry.
What kit is it for?
It's for the Douglas Air Shark.
And I can't even find anything similar that you could rob and pop on there. Yeah, that's a pretty long canopy, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll make it work. I'll find something. It's just such a cute plane that.
Because then once you bend that plastic, it also, to use the term, loses it.
Yeah. I was thinking of finding a like an F-15 canopy might, with a little bit of creativity work. I don't know. I'll find something, but
Who the hell's gonna know?
You'll have to keep us in the loop.
I'll get it, Bill.
Cool.
So
Actually, I had a question for Mike. So that AW 52, what's the reason for the offset canopy?
No idea. In the second aircraft was manned by two, and the second guy in tandem was behind the pilot. So no, I have no idea why it was offset.
Yeah, it's just odd. I thought there might be a reason.
It comes with a full width cockpit tub. And I looked at the diagrams and looked at pictures, and yeah, it's offset for some reason.
Okay,
All the reading I did on it, no idea.
cool.
Very strange. We should also point out Richard now has started a YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. Give a subscribe there. Richard, if you can, throw the link up in the chat.
Okay.
I'm just trying to look for it now, but yeah, if you can.
Sure.
He's just started and he's got a good start to it. So it's always good to see more content becoming available.
I watched it the other day. They were pretty good.
There you
Thanks.
go.
Yeah, I had a gander at them. I'm not a car guy, and I found it educational. Thanks
Oh,
for that.
Trying.
There we go. I think I just found it.
Yeah, we don't do bare metal foil on tanks very often.
Yeah, I can see why. It's a laborious process.
So the channel's
That's
called
true.
Speed and Scale, and I'm gonna throw the link up here.
Oh, you found it before I did. Okay.
Yeah, I found it's okay. It's
Right.
until he gets 100 subscribers, he can't do a custom link. So it's a gobbledygook link. So help him get to 100.
But now, come on, guys. There are people that will do bare metal foil for putting together a P-51.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that. So yeah, pretty cool.
And I'm sure those guys are much better at it than I am. I don't know. Oh,
Well, like I said, like I was saying
Braver.
before, you know, it's just video's one of those things. There is a learning curve, and just enjoy, play around with it.
yeah.
And again, yeah, very good. I see some people gave you some hints, and that's
Yeah.
going to be awesome. So yeah,
So
no,
far, it's been a lot of fun. So
looks good. And as I said, I'll throw it on the links for the website as well.
great. Thank you.
So yeah, and just a reminder, if anyone else has YouTube channels or that, we do have a page on the IPMS Canada website, or IPMS Canada, IPMS London website. And I'm glad to throw that up there as well. I'm trying to think of anything else. Carrie, I forgot to ask you, did you have anything from IPMS Canada? No? You're muted, but you're shaking your head, so
Sorry.
that's okay, man.
We're all good.
Okay.
What
Anyone
we're
else?
guy here with this YouTube. I clicked on the link and it's taken me to a page that says Speed and Scale. Is that where I'm supposed to be?
That's
Yep.
that's his page. That's the name of his channel.
And over on the right-hand side, it says subscribe. I just click on that and it
Click
won't.
on that.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Now you have to log into YouTube, don't you?
Yeah, you'd have to be logged into your YouTube channel to subscribe, correct?
Oh, I didn't get any error.
No, you're
YouTube.
subscribed. And I see it. I see it went up, and actually, I'll subscribe as well. I'll cheat slightly. I'll subscribe from the podcast channel as well.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. So slowly but surely, yeah, that's how these audiences build.
So
Yeah.
I'll receive a notification when he posts a new one.
You can
Yep.
if you want. Yep.
Should be one up in another couple days. I just finished filming some footage this afternoon, so I got to edit it all and then put it up. So
Cool.
Yeah. What I'll do is let me share my screen for a sec. And what I tend to do when I'm in YouTube, you can get a notification, or when you log in over here on the left-hand side, you'll see subscriptions,
Yeah.
and that'll show you if there's anything new. So for example, Wheels and Wings today posted about their Phantom, and this will show you all the new content since the last time you were in. So that's another good way to do it. So yeah, and you can, and that'll show you all your subscriptions and when they did it. So looks like, looks like, what is it? Genesis Models did about 9 parts of their MiG-21 build. So and posted it all at once. So anyway, yeah, that's how you do that with YouTube. It's a good way to do it. So yeah, very good. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll stop the recording and we'll go back to a regular build night. So thank you again. Oh, there is one other thing I made a note too, because it reminded me because Bill had that kit for sale. Normally we've done like when we're all together, we've done an actual like swap meet night. What do people think about the idea of you could either do something on Facebook or something here at the meeting where maybe if we get a list, do like a virtual sale of anything, like a buy and sell. And basically, we could do something like if people want to send me a list with prices, and then they could just very briefly show it on the screen, something like that. Or we can just, basically post and, I'm just trying to think of some ideas for like some sort of virtual swap meet or something.
I like the idea.
Okay. Yeah, I got a few I want to sell. So, all right, let me work on the logistics on how we do it. Because again, not everyone's on Facebook. So what we might do is maybe we'd invite people to email us a lists of what they're, what they have, and then maybe at the meeting, perhaps we can give each person maybe a couple of minutes just to show some highlights, and maybe just do it that way, and then we'd work on people getting in touch with each other. So, okay, well let me think about that. It's the one thing we haven't been able to do, obviously, but I'm
And
sure.
can I get some help in pricing? Because I got airplanes and I don't know how much to even ask for them.
Okay.
$5.
Yeah, I was going to say $5
Per
a
kit.
piece. Yeah, per kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an old Heinkel TriMaster kit that I have no clue.
Oh man. Yeah, you can also ask on Facebook to ask the guys. ScaleMates is a good resource sometimes.
Okay.
The other thing I do sometimes is I'll occasionally check eBay, but I'll look just on the stuff that actually sold. Yes, Carrie.
My suggestion, so over the last year, I've been selling quite a number of kits, and anybody who's interested in selling kits, eBay is a fairly good resource for establishing price. So what I generally do is I look for if I have an Academy F4B that I want to sell, I just type that in, and then I establish what the lowest, currently the lowest price, and then I just deduct off of that. And you're going to get a fairly good representation of the price. Now, obviously, if you've got some fairly rare kits in your stash, you might want to act accordingly. But for the most part, that's a good way to establish a price. And if it doesn't sell, you've got it priced too high.
Yeah, I'm notoriously. So my opinion would not be a good one to follow. Because I am cheap. I sell cheap and I buy cheap. So
that's all right. At least you know what?
Well,
bidding's half the thing.
It's a matter of whether you want to sell the kits.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to.
Exactly.
I sold close to $600 worth of 132nd Tamea kits a couple of years ago at the Hamilton show for about $200. So guy walked away with 32nd scale Mustang 0, 2 Spitfires, a bunch of other, I can't remember them all.
Mm-hmm.
So
but you ended up with $200.
I got $200 and I had the enjoyment of fondling them in the evenings.
Well, and you know what I've noticed too, as different times tastes change. Like the kit we bought went, oh, that's so cool, and then later on, yeah, like I'm working with the thing right now. I just don't have a lot of display space, particularly for larger subjects. So I'm really reevaluating the stash, and time and all that. So yeah, so it's just something I was thinking about the other day, and like how, if there's a way we can do it. Like I said, it'd be easy with Facebook, but not everyone's on Facebook. So I'd like to keep it fair for everyone in the club. But maybe something to do. Maybe I'll get Jeff to, like I said, if we do like a 2 weeks ahead of the meeting, If we can get a list, we'll send it out to all the membership, and that way at least people know. So
Stuart, are you thinking just IPMS London members only?
yes, just strictly the people who were physical members before all this started. It's kind of the same rule we have on the Facebook page. So again, I'm just figuring out the logistics. So if you've been to meetings, if you're in the area, like, yeah, I don't, we have quite a large number of people on our mailing list now because of the pandemic. We've been able to expand quite a bit, but we'll restrict this to just the people who are physically in the club. Not the best choice of words, but you guys know what I mean. So,
Active.
Yeah, active are in the area and stuff like that. We may make the odd exception, like Harold, for example. He's a regular member. He's paid before, even though he's out in Winnipeg. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, if anyone has any thoughts, I don't think we'll probably do it in September. Maybe we'll be back physically, but because summer's traditionally light, but it gives me some time. And if other people have any thoughts or ideas on how we can pull this off, yeah, I think it'd be something that'd be kind of neat to do, and it's something we haven't been able to offer. Yeah, other than that, no other news. The library's still closed for most part. They're hoping to open some branches next week for limited use, but still nothing on meeting rooms and that. And obviously where we have our show at Carling Heights, it's still being used as an assessment center. So nothing there for a while. So we're just kind of in a holding pattern. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months. The executive will look, and if there's, if there's a chance that they say, okay, well, groups of up to 40 can meet, and the library is still not available, maybe we'll look at something else. But again, we all have to kind of be good. Most of you now, if you haven't got your second shots, you can reschedule it. So I do encourage that, so we can all get back together again. So yeah. All right, and I think that now is truly it. So I'll stop yapping, and we'll just oh, that's a bad joke. My wife just accused me of stealing her thesaurus. Not only was shocked, but I was aghast. He's here all week. Try the veal. All right, so I'm going to turn it over. So you guys have yourself a good evening. Again, just carry on as a build night. I've got to go and go upstairs to check in with She Who Must Be Obeyed, because she texted me about a tech question. So even when I'm off duty, I'm on duty. So, exactly. So Dave, I'm going to throw the host over to you. It's already set up for screen sharing. So thank you again, gentlemen. Let me just stop the recording.